Number 101. Kind words produce their own image in men's souls, and a beautiful image it is. They soothe and quiet and comfort the hearer. They shame him out of his sour, morose, unkind feelings. We have not yet begun to use kind words in such abundance as they ought to be used. Number 102. What a chimera is man! What a confused chaos! What a subject of contradiction! A professed judge of all things, and yet a feeble worm of the earth. The great depositary and guardian of truth, and yet a mere huddle of uncertainty. The glory and the scandal of the universe. Number 103. Man is nothing but insincerity, falsehood, and hypocrisy, both in regard to himself and in regard to others. He does not wish that he should be told the truth, he shuns saying it to others, and all these moods, so inconsistent with justice and reason, have their roots in his heart. Number 104. Parents fear the destruction of natural affection in their children. What is this natural principle so liable to decay? Habit is a second nature, which destroys the first. Why is not custom nature? I suspect that this nature itself is but a first custom, as custom is a second nature. Number 105. Pride counterbalances all our miseries, for it either hides them, or, if it discloses them, boasts of that disclosure. Pride has such a thorough possession of us, even in the midst of our miseries and faults, that we are prepared to sacrifice life with joy, if it may but be talked of. Number 106. If a man loves a woman for her beauty, does he love her? No, for the smallpox, which destroys her beauty without killing her, causes his love to cease. And if anyone loves me for my judgment or my memory, does he really love me? No, for I can lose these qualities without ceasing to be. Number 107. Saint Augustine teaches us that there is in each man a serpent, an Eve, and an Adam. Our senses and natural propensities are the serpent, the excitable desire is the Eve, and reason is the Adam. Our nature tempts us perpetually, criminal desire is often excited, but sin is not completed till reason consents. Number 108. Evil is easily discovered, there is an infinite variety, good is almost unique. But some kinds of evil are almost as difficult to discover as that which we call good, and often particular evil of this class passes for good. It needs even a certain greatness of soul to attain to this, as to that which is good. Number 109. There is nothing so insupportable to man as to be in entire repose, without passion, occupation, amusement, or application. Then it is that he feels his own nothingness, isolation, insignificance, dependent nature, powerlessness, emptiness. Immediately there issue from his soul ennui, sadness, chagrin, vexation, despair. Number 110. It is of dangerous consequence to represent to man how near he is to the level of beasts, without showing him at the same time his greatness. It is likewise dangerous to let him see his greatness without his meanness. It is more dangerous yet to leave him ignorant of either, but very beneficial that he should be made sensible of both. Number 111. Our imagination so magnifies this present existence, by the power of continual reflection on it, and so attenuates eternity, by not thinking of it at all, that we reduce an eternity to nothingness, and expand a mere nothing to an eternity, and this habit is so inveterately rooted in us that all the force of reason cannot induce us to lay it aside. Number 112. When we would show anyone that he is mistaken, our best course is to observe on what side he considers the subject, for his view of it is generally right on this side, and admit to him that he is right so far. He will be satisfied with this acknowledgment, that he was not wrong in his judgment, but only inadvertent in not looking at the whole case. Number 113. There is a virtuous fear which is the effect of faith, and there is a vicious fear, which is the product of doubt. The former leads to hope, as relying on God, in whom we believe, the latter inclines to despair, as not relying on God, in whom we do not believe. Persons of the one character fear to lose God, persons of the other character fear to find Him. Number 114. Man is so great that his greatness appears even in the consciousness of his misery. A tree does not know itself to be miserable. It is true that it is misery indeed to know oneself to be miserable, but then it is greatness also. In this way, all man's miseries go to prove his greatness. They are the miseries of a mighty potentate, of a dethroned monarch. Number 115. That queen of error, whom we call fancy and opinion, is the more deceitful because she does not always deceive. She would be the infallible rule of truth if she were the infallible rule of falsehood, but being only most frequently in error, she gives no evidence of her real quality, for she marks with the same character both that which is true and that which is false. Number 116. Let any man examine his thoughts, and he will find them ever occupied with the past or the future. We scarcely think at all of the present, or if we do, it is only to borrow the light which it gives, for regulating the future. The present is never our object, the past and the present we use as means, the future only is our end. Thus, we never live, we only hope to live. Number 117. Generally we are occupied either with the miseries which now we feel, or with those which threaten, and even when we see ourselves sufficiently secure from the approach of either, still fretfulness, though unwarranted by either present or expected affliction, fails not to spring up from the deep recesses of the heart, where its roots naturally grow, and to fill the soul with its poison. Number 118. The mind of the greatest man on earth is not so independent of circumstances as not to feel inconvenienced by the merest buzzing noise about him. It does not need the report of a cannon to disturb his thoughts. The creaking of a vane or a pulley is quite enough. Do not wonder that he reasons ill just now. A fly is buzzing by his ear, it is quite enough to unfit him for giving good counsel. Number 119. There are three means of believing: by inspiration, by reason, and by custom. Christianity, which is the only rational institution, does yet admit none for its sons who do not believe by inspiration. Nor does it injure reason or custom, or debar them of their proper force. On the contrary, it directs us to open our minds by the proofs of the former, and to confirm our minds by the authority of the latter. Number 120. By a peculiar prerogative, not only each individual is making daily advances in the sciences, and may make advances in morality, which is the science, by way of eminence, of living well and being happy, but all mankind together are making a continual progress in proportion as the universe grows older, so that the whole human race, during the course of so many ages, may be considered as one man, who never ceases to live and learn. Number 121. One half of life is admitted by us to be passed in sleep, in which, however, it may appear otherwise, we have no perception of truth, and all our feelings are delusions. Who knows but the other half of life, in which we think we are awake, is asleep also, but in some respects different from the other, and from which we wake when we, as we call it, sleep. As a man dreams often that he is dreaming, crowding one dreamy delusion on another. Number 122. Let a man choose what condition he will, and let him accumulate around him all the goods and all the gratifications seemingly calculated to make him happy in it. If that man is left at any time without occupation or amusement, and reflects on what he is, the meager, languid felicity of his present lot will not bear him up. He will turn necessarily to gloomy anticipations of the future, and except, therefore, his occupation calls him out of himself, he is inevitably wretched. Number 123. I have spent much time in the study of the abstract sciences, but the paucity of persons with whom you can communicate on such subjects disgusted me with them. When I began to study man, I saw that these abstract sciences are not suited to him, and that in diving into them, I wandered farther from my real object than those who knew them not, and I forgave them for not having attended to these things. I expected then, however, that I should find some companions in the study of man, since it was so specifically a duty. I was in error. There are fewer students of man than of geometry,